Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Karin with Creative Paper Artisan here. And today we are going to work on the design team project that I am doing for the Vintage Valentine Kit series, really is what it is. I have several items in the Vintage Valentine theme, so I've used bits and pieces, and I will show you how to make this adorable bobbin spool booklet. I guess if you could call it a booklet, I'm not sure. But let me just give you a quick little peek inside, and then I'll show you how I made it. Isn't that so much fun? Oh my goodness. And then the back or the cover is just a collage paper. And then the inside is an actual collage project. So stay with me and I will show you how I made this really sweet little vintage bobbin spool. All right. See you in a minute. All right, so let me show you first all the little bits and pieces that we're going to need to make this fantastic little spool booklet. So we've got the spool, and I actually ordered these off of Amazon, and they came in a bag of, I don't know, 10 or so. And actually, I'll probably put one of these in the prize pack for my giveaway for my 1,000 subscribers when I hit that mark. I'm getting close. So I'll probably put that in the pack too, the prize pack. So just FYI. So I went ahead and I stained it a lovely dark brown that I happen to have handy. So we've got that. The design team kit that we're all working with is my Vintage Valentine junk journal kit. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not following my own directions. I'm not using much from the kit, but I'm using a lot of little bits and pieces from my other Vintage Valentine little offerings that I have. So I'll list them all below. So you can get a hold of them if you'd like. This paper is from the kit, from the junk journal kit. There's a lot of papers in that. It's a really, really nice kit with so many beautiful vintage images. This collage that I made is actually a freebie in my group. So there'll be a link for my group below. I do freebies every Friday. So there's quite a collection going on now. I may have to start reorganizing them because it's getting to be a pretty long list. And then these little pieces, let's see here. Oh, these tickets, I have Vintage Valentine's tickets. That's another kit I have. And I'll be using these. And I already went ahead and inked everything just to save time. And these sweet little fussy cuts. I honestly don't remember now. Oh, here's another ticket. I don't remember if these were from my Vintage Valentine loaded tags or if they're from the junk journal kit. Either way, I'm going to list all my Vintage Valentine, the whole series, in the description below, so you can take a look at all that. But I mean, look at these beautiful vintage images. I mean, I just love them. And then these little guys, I just used a little fancy paper cutter, corner cutter on these. I thought that might add a nice little touch to that too. All right, so we've got those little bits and pieces. I'll be using this button. This is the kind that has, like the loop-de-loop here. You can also use just the regular button that has the 2 holes or the 4 holes. That would work fine too. But I'm going to use this because I'm going to use my, I'm so in love with this ribbon right now. It's like a sagey, sheer, beautiful ribbon from Hobby Lobby, of course. But since it's a little bit wider, I'm thinking having that space there it'll accommodate this ribbon better. But you can use string, hemp string, or yarn, or what have you. So what you have on hand is probably going to work. All right, and I'll also be using some book page scraps and some just fabric scraps, ribbon scraps. We're just gonna make this scrappy, but in the best way possible. Okay, so first things first, we need to get a strip that's going to fit inside here, and the whatever paper that you're going to want to use for the outside cover that's the paper that's going to need to fit inside here. I had originally. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. I'd originally thought about making one larger and having it overlap on the edges. But you know what? I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to be kind of putting them together with washi tape on the top. The video that I saw, the creator that made this actually stitched the papers. Whoops, stitched them together with doing like a top slow stitch kind of a thing, and it looked really pretty. Excuse me, but I'm not a sewer or a stitcher for the most part. I would like to be, but I just haven't tackled that yet. So I'm going to make this a little bit more simple, so that maybe more people can follow along. The only thing I'll be sewing will be the button. I will sew that button on there. So just kind of keep in mind which side that you're going to want for your cover, so to speak. As you unfurl it, what you see as you're unfurling will be the cover, and then what's on the flip side will be your inside. So you need to, you may have a different size spool. You need to just make sure the inside is measuring at just under 2 1/4. So I'm going to play it safe and cut my strips at 2, just to give a little bit of wiggle room. It's also going to be getting a little thicker and fatter, and with all the different things we're going to add to it. So we want to have some wiggle room. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my strips at 2 inches wide. And we want it to be longer than this. And I believe cutting 2 strips and then gluing them together will be the answer. So I actually, my little guillotine cutter isn't big enough to cut this way. So I'm going to go cut both of these papers at 2 inches wide. I'm going to cut 2 strips, and I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So I've got my little strips cut. We're going to start with the cover sheet. Let's see. Let's decide here how we want this. I think we're going to go like this. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, I'm going to glue it, give it about this much of a glue strip to keep it kind of firm. We want it to be, have some, what am I trying to say? Substantial grip there. And I'm going to use my glue stick because I don't want the paper to get all wet and goopy and wrinkly. And I usually I'm not a huge fan of using the glue stick as the primary holder, but I think in this case it's going to work. And this is a really good, just Staples brand office supply. But I've had really good luck with it. It holds really well, better than some of the crafty ones that I've tried. Okay. Okie dokie. Great. Now, what we want to make sure is that the length is correct. We don't want the whole thing when it's rolled up to go out past that lip. That wouldn't work very well. It wouldn't work well, and it wouldn't look that good. So let's just go ahead and start rolling this puppy up just to see, make sure that we've got enough room. And gotta do it nice and tight, although this is clearly far from finished. But if we do it tight right away, we'll know what we've got to deal with here, what we've got to work with. So, okay, so you can see, oops, it's wanting to shift on me. There we go. You can see that we still have quite a bit of room there, which is fantastic, because we're going to be, doubling it, the thickness with the other paper, and also adding little embellishments. And honestly, these are cardstock, and I don't think you don't need them to be cardstock. I just happen to have these. These were kind of leftovers that I wanted to use, because I didn't want them just sitting around either. So I wanted to use them up. And since we're doing this vintage Valentine for the design team, I thought this was perfect. So the cardstock will probably make it even thicker. But I think we've still have plenty of room to accommodate that. So, all right. So the next thing that we want to, okay. First of all, we need to do it. Of course, this is a collage, so it doesn't have to be, it's not necessarily right side up or upside down, but I do have most of my little cherubs going this way. So I'm going to want this to be, it will be going this way. So what I need to do now is kind of mark, because this is going to be glued down, and I'm not going to need to worry about the other paper and the other collage going much further than that. So we'll just kind of make that our little guide here. All right. And then let's just see here. So obviously this is going to be longer because we're skipping this part for this part. But we're going to leave it for now. I'm going to go ahead and glue this together as well. And I'm going to leave this a little bit longer, just for a minute. Let me glue these together first. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to just use the glue stick again and glue this all down like so. I have a little bit of an overhang here. You know, something I've noticed, even those guillotine cutters, they're not always 100% square. I've noticed that sometimes, and it's not that it's shifting either. I've played around with it. They're just not always 100% square, but that's okay. We can always adjust and accommodate. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down, and we're going to leave this open for just a bit, and you'll see why in a minute. All right. Now I've noticed that the edges don't matter as much because I'm going to be doing washi tape, so that's fine. But it's kind of not quite like I said. They don't quite. I'm not trying to put the blame on something else, but I'm blaming I'm blaming the guillotine cutter because it's not squared up as well as it should be. And it's making it a little bit, yeah, look at that. Huh. Well, like I said, it's not unto death because I'm going to be doing washi tape over those edges. So I'm just going to trim off the overhangers here. Just on the one side because I don't want to completely change the landscape on that one. So, okay, that's all right. It's okay. All right. Okay, so now we are going to, this is the place where you want to put your string or ribbon or what have you. And I'm going to kind of put it in the middle here. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this, just because we're working with fabric, hoping it'll give it a good solid bond there. All right. And I'm also going to, of course, now I'm eyeballing this. If you want to get really exact, you can measure it. But I'm just going to go with it. And I'm also going to add some tape, just because I can. Because I can. And you can too. Because we do want that to be nice and solid. All right. Okay, now, I really like the touch of lace, having that on the outside. It'll be like this. So what we're going to do, let me just flip this back again. What we're going to do, I'm going to center it. I have it hanging over on purpose. I'll be trimming that off later. And I'm going to just make a little marks here. And, oops, and just trim that off. All right. And then I will do the same thing here. So now we will glue the rest of this down. Okay, now, before we get too much more invested in this, let's make sure that it's still going to fit nicely on here. So let's roll it up. And now it's a little bit harder to spin because we've got glued paper, but don't be dismayed. It's gonna be awesome. Awesome blossom. Yep, that's looking like it'll be just fine. Just fine. Okay, yeah. See, we still have some room here. It's going to thicken up again with the embellishments. And honestly, if I were to do it again, I'd probably print these out on regular paper because this will add quite a bit of thickness. But I'm going to go with it. Okay. So now I need to pick out some washi tape, which I haven't done yet. So bear with me and I'll be right back. All right, I decided to go with this one. There's quite a bit of blue in here. And this is kind of like an old vintage, like postal stamps and filigree and stuff. So I think that'd look nice. So, okay, so that's what I'm going to go with. Now, the challenge will be getting this on the edges because the paper wants to curl. And this, actually, I'm going to go ahead and, this does not want to, this little edge wants to keep coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and use the art glitter and get that stuck down. Oh my goodness, do you hear my dogs again? They're pitching a fit. Pitching a fit. Let me see, I think I might need to, no, I think that's okay for now. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get that off. And because, as you may know, washi tape is not always the most sticky, I'm going to use a bead of glue. And I think I actually will use the art glitter glue because it won't necessarily make the paper soggy at this point. I'm just going to use a little bead and just go along and put this over about halfway and then flip it and do it on, have it come over on the other side. I think that'll look pretty with this too because there's a bit of a bluish tint. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, I'm getting excited. All right, so I'm going to do that and then we will move on. Now we're cooking. All right, so that was a little tedious, but and I guess you don't have to do that. But as you saw, it's really hard to keep a strip this long completely even. So you're not going to have really, really great edges. And I think you kind of are asking for a paper cut. So I think it kind of softens the edge a little bit. Or you could sew it like I mentioned, the video that I saw from Graphics Fairy in the membership site. They stitched and then did like the yarn ran across the top. And then they kind of, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Not my deal, not my forte, but it was nice too. But I needed to keep it a little bit more papery and less sewy for me. So that's what we're going to do. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this gorgeous lace down here, and I want it to overhang just a little bit because remember how I cut it like that? I'm going to have it overhang that just a little bit. So I'll use the fabric tack on this one and just give it a good little swath of glue to sit on. And kind of center it up. And get a little bit further. A little bit further down. Well, come on now. Okay, there we go. I never have good luck with glue every time I'm trying to video. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but it seems like every video I do, I'm struggling with my glue. Okay, it's always fighting me. But when I'm not filming, then it's fine. Silly. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Now, as you can probably see, the washi tape got a little bit wonky off kilter there, but I'm not gonna let that bother me. I'm gonna try really hard not to let that bother me. Okay, so this is right side up. We're gonna do it like this. So then when we unroll it, this needs to be right side up. So now we get to collage and do some scrappy fun. Okay, so let me start with some material. I think I may. I've got some scraps of the same lace. That might work. I'm afraid that might make it too thick. That's pretty thick. Okay, hang on. Let me see here. Got some pretty peach. Let me look at my colors here. Okay. Yeah, I've got peaches and obviously pinks and greens. Okay, I can use these scraps. I was going to try to avoid cutting more of anything and actually using up my scraps. So I think that will work quite nicely. I may even use that. Okay, let's see here. Definitely want to cover up that seam, probably with one of these bigger babies right there. Yep. Let me, I like raggedy edges, so I'm going to just rip that. Raggedy. Okay, maybe not that raggedy. Okay. All right, and some of the purple. Let me do this in two. Oh, that one doesn't want to rip as much. Oh, okay. Actually, that's cool. It's kind of feathery looking, isn't it? I may cut just a little bit of that off. This is very feathery. Okay. All right. Let me just play around with this a little bit and get the layout how I want it. I think that's about as much as I'm going to do for this. And I didn't end up using all of my little fussy cuts because I didn't really have the room. That filled up quicker than I expected. So now, because I have all of this cardstock, I want to make sure that I'm going to just kind of bend it all just a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit of a hint of where it needs to go when we roll this all up at the end here. Just kind of giving it all an appetizer where it's going to go. Where it's going to go. Okay. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and, a little too scraggly there. I like the scraggles, but a little too much there. Okay. But anyway, give you a little close up. I think that looks pretty sweet with the scraggly ribbon pieces and some sheer ribbon and some book pages. I'm liking the way that turned out a lot. So now let me cut this off, the trim. And this is actually really thick lace. And my scissors may not like it as much as they should, but there we go. Okay, that wasn't so bad. This side. Okay. Ooh, okay, there we go. There we go. Yay. Yay. I'm liking that. I really am. One thing I was going to do, the seam here, not sure if that bothers me or not. No, not really. As long as it doesn't open up. I was thinking about putting a piece of fabric there too, just as a little bit of a disguise. I don't know. We'll see. I can always add that later. Let's just... Okay. Whoops. All right. So let's get this glued down here, right? And I'm going to use my big guns. I'm going to use the E6000 glue. Just make sure that I did this in the right direction. Okay, I did. I did. Okay, so let us focus on getting this all, and I'm going to just put this all over the core. I won't go too far to the edges because some of that will show. But right in the middle, I'm going to just really give it a good dousing. And then, don't want it to get all over my table. Okay, and then quickly start wrapping. And make sure that it's center and not cattywampus. I'm going to use this to kind of really get the edges down. Let's see. Let me see here. I'm going to have to tuck the edges, kind of want to come up. I'll tuck that in. I'm getting glue all over my bone folder here, which I don't like, but you know what? Sometimes you got to sacrifice for the cause. I'll get that off later. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to hold this tight for a minute. Make sure while it's still slightly movable, make sure everything is straight and tight. Just kind of pulling pulling from both ends here. And kind of center it. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to get even spacing on each end. I think we've got it. I think we've got it. So I'm just going to hold this for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to just start slowly winding it up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's not overhanging on the, overhanging from the spool. So this is perfect width. Even with all that cardstock, I was a little worried about that, but I think it turned out just fine. All right, so now we need to get that button sewn on. And we need to figure out the best place for it. So I think probably kind of on the bottom side of this lace piece. And that'll give it some, maybe kind of in the middle here. Give it something to grab onto, and then we can wrap this around it. So let me just kind of, call that the center right about there. All right. So now, time to get all seamstressy and get my needles. And I don't know if you guys have seen these yet, but I haven't used them yet, and I'm excited to try this out. I got these from Temu, that new website that everyone's raving about. They've got fantastic craft supplies. But look, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see, but you don't have to thread the needle. It has like a tiny little gap. Watch this. Well, we'll see. I haven't done it yet, like I said. You don't have to like thread it through the hole. There's a tiny little gap and you just slide it in. Oh, it worked. Oh my gosh, it worked so well. Well, no, it didn't because it just fell back out. Okay, hang on. Okay, let me get it. There we go. Okay, yeah, that works. Oh, that's cool. All right, so let me get, probably don't need too much, but like I said, I don't so much, but when I do, I always like to double up my thread just to make it that much stronger. I've got glue all over my fingers. Okay. All right. Excuse the dogs. They're definitely barking now. They were just whining, wanting to get out before. Now they're out and just, creating chaos like they do. They like to bark at every little thing. But with our dog boarding business, there's always something going on. There, it's not just every little thing. There's other dogs, and there's customers, and there's employees. there's a lot to bark at. If I were a dog, I guess I'd be barking at it all too. All right, I'm gonna do a little double knot here, and I may cover that up from the inside once we get everything sewn in. But okay, let me see. Where's my hole? Okay, there it is. All right, so the button's going to be here. So I'm going to, I've kind of maybe jumped the gun a little bit. I should have maybe, see if I can lift her up because it's kind of in the middle of this. If I can slowly, carefully peel this back, and then glue it back over, then I'll kill two birds with one stone. Okay, as long as I don't ruin it. All right, let's see. The hole is right here. I'm just going to poke a hole so I can see from the other side. Aha, okay, there we go. Yeah, that works. That works. All right. Do another little hole here. Oops. I'm poking my little angel. Okay. See, there's a reason why I'm not a seamstress. It is not my natural skill. Paper, yes. Needles, thread, fabric, not so much. But my mom, on the other hand, is a fantastic seamstress. She made my wedding dress and everything. Well, you know, I'm just going to go for it. There's going to be a little bit of thread on the angel. I can't seem to get it to go where I want it to go. So we're just going to go with it. It's not too bad as far as getting into the image. I thought it was going to be worse. It's really not so bad. All right, hang on now. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Okay. This is an adventure in sewing with Karin. Okay. Oh yeah, it's actually hardly noticeable. So that'll be fine. All right, so let me do one more round. Such a pretty button too. Okay. All right, and I'm going to try to tie it off out here because I don't have a whole lot of options on the other side. So I'm going to tie it off like so. Maybe one more through there. Okay. One more loop for good luck. Okay, that should be nice and secure. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so now, of course, this wants to unwind because it's thick. Okay. And there is plenty of room for that. Although, you know, if you were to use string, you definitely would want to use the flat button. Because I used this ribbon, it works, but I'm seeing there's quite a bit of space. So it would not work so well with string. But you know what else? Let me try something else here. I don't know, part of me wants to do something with the rest of this. Hang on. Okay, I had an idea. I'm going to use a wooden bead, and kind of make a little dangly out of that. I have a lot. I think I want to, wrap it around a couple times like that, wrap it once, a couple more times like this, and then have a dangle. What do you think about that? That's what I'm going to do. All right, and these beads, I think, I got these off of the Temu site as well. So they've got some pretty neat stuff. I'm going to have to tell you. Let's see. Not quite, oops, not quite the colors that I think actually that'll work. That will work. Ah! Got rogue beads. Okay. Okay, so let me just thread this through. Oh my goodness, my dogs. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then I don't want to have it so long that it, I want to be able to stand it up like this, but the dangle, let me see, I'm going to do a little knot on the top and a knot on the bottom, I think. Okay, so basically what I did, just making the knots wasn't going to work. That the mouth to the bead, the opening is really wide. And no matter how many knots I made, it just kept slipping through. So I'm adding some E6000 and I'm going to let that dry. Trim this off a tad. There we go. Gonna let that dry and then we're gonna take another last look at everything. All right, so I've got my little dangle here. I've wrapped it around and I wrapped it around one more time. And then we just take it apart. And again, like I said, probably next time I will not use cardstock for the embellishments because it does add a thickness that I'm not crazy about. But it's okay. It's okay. But I think I'll do regular paper embellishments next time. But there you go. Pretty fun, huh? And I just think it'd be so sweet to have a bunch of little spools, kind of, you know, sitting on a shelf, all different themes. I'm definitely going to be making more, especially because I have all those bobbins that I bought, came in a package. So I'm definitely going to be making more of these. I think it's very vintagey, you know? I just love it. I want to try different materials, different buttons, and just kind of have fun with it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, I please would ask you that you do, because I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and there's going to be a big giveaway when I get to that point. And also hit the bell so that you're notified every time I have a new video out. Please comment, interact. I love interacting with you guys and love to hear your thoughts and ideas. I'm open to suggestions. Let's just have a good time together. All right, you guys, thanks again so much for watching. We'll see you next time.